channel. If it is the first time coming across my channel, kindly do me the favor by subscribing and put on the notification bell so that anytime I put on amazing content like this, you'll be among the first to be notified. Here in my channel, all I do is I bring up strategies that can enable beginners to scalp the market and make profit. That means if you are new to this trading platform, within a short couple of days, weeks, or months, watching my strategies that I post every day, you are definitely going to start making money. But first thing first, please always practice it. Make sure you understand the concept before you start trading live. Initially, I love trading with my real account, but I noticed immediately we post videos like this, just because it's on real account, most of you will just go and start trading on your real account immediately. So since that is not enough or good for those of you who are new, we start using our practice account. Please make sure you practice, understand the concept behind the strategy, check the accuracy of the winning and the loss, and make sure you do proper risk management when you want to trade live. Remember that every mobile strategy is for scalping, most especially for beginners. Every mobile strategy is for scalping. Okay, today's strategy is very unique. It can be applied on VIX25, volatility 10, and all the boom and crash index. That means including crash 300. So before I explain the strategy, before I show you the setup, let me quickly explain to you how you can use this strategy and the psychology behind the indicator involved. Because sometimes some of you just attach indicators to your charts without knowing or understanding the psychology behind those indicators. Now, in today's strategy, you can use any of the time frame. That means either the 1 hour, the 5 minutes, the 15 minutes. But mind you, the higher the time frame, the more accurate the result is going to be. But for a start, you can use 5-minute time frame. Now, you can see that we don't have any indicators in our main chart. But when you check our window 1, we have, let me just say, 3 different indicators. So how do we use this strategy? First thing first, the red line is the MACD signal line, while the black line is the envelope, then the green line is our moving average, while the brown line you can see here is the Bollinger Band. So these are the indicators we are going to be using for this particular strategy. Please pay more attention so that you don't miss it. Now, for us to take a sell, the first thing we want to see is the red line crossing below the brown line from the top. The reason why I took this trade was a sniper entry, but please, for those of you who are new, take your sell trade when you have the red line crossing below the brown line, and make sure your red line is below your green line and your black line. Now, for the sake of the green line, when your red line is below it and is crossing below the top Bollinger Band for sell signal, it indicates that it's going to be acting as resistance. At that moment, the green line, which is our moving average, is going to be acting as resistance. That is, if there's even going to be a pullback towards the upside, it is not going to be much, and before you know it, it will fall back in place. So that is the psychology behind the green line in this case. Then for the case of, or for the opposite position, which is buy, when the green line, when the red line cross above the bottom, not the middle line of the Bollinger Band this time, we want the bottom line, and the green and black line are behind, like what you see here, it indicates support. That means there will be a push of price towards the upside. So that is the psychology behind it. Now we are going to do a quick test. That means we're going to test run it. You see, in this case, this is not a good sell order. Yes, this is not a good sell order. The reason is because I said we want to see the three lines at the top. That means they will initially cross the line, the Bollinger Band upward. They need to cross upward first before, when you now notice the red line crossing the brown line, which is the Bollinger Band, while the green and black line at the top, then you can take your sell. But in this case, you can see price, it was more or less like a fake out. Price didn't cross the line at first, and secondly, when it crossed the two lines at that point, it couldn't go deeper because there was still much pressure towards the upside. But look at the reversal here. When the Bollinger Band, when the two lines touch the top of the Bollinger Band and the red line cross the middle line, you can notice there was a push towards the downside, because at that point the two lines are now acting as resistance for price to push above. So this is just the psychology behind it, and you need to be very selective when taking this trade. Make sure that they are in your place of interest, and the place of interest here are the top and the lower part of the Bollinger Band for good entry. The top and the lower part of the Bollinger Band, because these are the area where we need to take serious or focus more on. The middle line can be a breakout, a fake breakout, or just a reversal. So please, when you are doing this, focus on majorly the top and the bottom of the Bollinger Band for good entry. Now you can see we have similar issue here, whereby the conditions were properly met. Do you see? And when you go and check, you check the movement of price, you notice that price, immediately that cross took place, price couldn't go higher, rather it started dropping. So these are the reasons why we focus more on the top and the lower part of the Bollinger Band. Now this is another scenario here where we have a good setup. And what do you notice? You notice price started moving towards the upside. So please, this strategy works, but you need to be patient, and you need for the conditions to meet, be met. Otherwise, you will just endanger your account by taking entries that is not going to be favorable. So to avoid that, always focus on the top, just like what you see here. When you focus at the top, you will not have losses, you will not encounter huge losses. Rather, you'll be able to scalp out good profit from the market. You'll be able to scalp out good profit from the market. So please, always make sure you don't take the wrong signals, because when you take the right signals, it enables you to make better profit. It enables you to make good profit from the market, so that at the end of the day, you won't be losing to the brokers like others. So this is how this strategy works for every pair that I just mentioned. It works for it works for both the volatility indices, especially the volatility 25, volatility 10, and even volatility 75. Then it works for the boom and crash indices. Now let's check the boom and crash indices. Let's see issues. Please, one other thing, don't move your chart. When you open your chart, let your chart be plain. All you need to just identify if price is at the top or at the bottom. That is when you only move to see where exactly your line is moving from. You can see this one is from the top, so you don't need to move it so that you don't go and take wrong entry. Just leave it this way. You can use this third zoom level. Yes, use the third zoom level, then leave it this way. Leave it the way you can see it, just the way you see it in your chart. Don't move it up and down so that you don't enter or take wrong signal. Now let's check for the crash indices. We'll start with the crash 300 for those who like trading crash 300. Now you can see that in this case, for those who wanted to push, if we like catching spike with crash 300, the conditions was not properly met because the red line didn't cross above the Bollinger Band. Please make sure it cross above. See it cross above, then cross below again. That is when it is more interesting. So if it doesn't cross above it, definitely it might just be a form of fake entry. Now look at the instances here where it crossed above, where you see it crossed above here. Sorry, this is it. Look at instances where it crossed above here. Do you see the outcome? Immediately cross above, and these two other indicators, which is the green and the black one, are below. Then you take your buy. You will have made huge profits. But if it doesn't cross, it crossed below the first instance, then it later crossed above. But when you check this current signal, you notice that it didn't cross above the line. It just get to the line and it started trying to push towards the downside. No, if it doesn't give you the necessary result, don't enter so that you don't lose it, because in this case we can sense that price crossed below it and it now later crossed above, just exactly what we want to see. Trading is based on principle. If the conditions are not met, then it is not worth entering or taking entry. So please always make sure you are selective. Wait for good entry. Though in crash 300 it will be very risky to be looking for spike, but when you are taking the normal default settings, which is buy, then you definitely enjoy your trade. You can see this setup here, a very good one. So you see the spike were not much because at that moment the green line is acting as a support for price. It is acting as a support for price. So if you are only going to be focusing on the buy, then wait for it to give you a good setup. And don't forget that our area of interest in this point is the top and the bottom. These are the area of interest. There is another good entry again, you can see. So let's check for boom 1000, because majority of you like trading the boom indices. Now for those of you who like taking buy, I told you don't move, just leave it the way it is. All you need to check, you can see it is in the second line, not the third line, so you don't have any business with that. So now this is the top. This is what I was saying. Sorry, here is it. This is boom 1000. The first thing we want to see, the green line should be above and the red line should cross. Immediately it crossed here. Can you see that there was no much pressure for price to push towards the upside? So it was dropping all through. So you must have made up to good $3 or $4, $5 there before the price eventually changed. And here's another setup again. You can see immediately it crossed, you take your sell, you hold it, and please, it will be advisable for you to always have your target. You can see every time the conditions are met, it gives accurate delivery. It gives accurate delivery. We want to see price cross above the line first. We want to see price cross above the line. That is the first condition. Then the second condition, when it's crossing below, let it not be below the green and black line. Then it shows that price wouldn't push higher any longer. So that is when you take your entry. That is when you take your entry. So you can see that this strategy is not a thing of guesswork. It's just exactly what we are saying. Immediately it crossed here. Do you notice price couldn't push above the initial high? Rather, it was dropping all through. So this is the same scenario we had in the volatility tail. So now let me quickly give you the setup for the strategy. Please make sure you practice very well, because it is very necessary. When you practice it, it gives you that confidence to take trades in your live account. But when you don't practice it and you just go instantly to your live account, then you start messing up your account. So guys, please make sure you practice. And if you are still watching to this point, you have not subscribed, please kindly subscribe. It is very important. The shout out today goes out to everyone from Cyprus, Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, and Burkina Faso. You guys are doing well. I love you guys. Thanks for growing my channel. You are the one that has subscribed me. Please, you can comment your country below so that in the next video I'll give out the shout out to you also. Thanks guys, I'm grateful. So before I go, let me show you the settings. It is very simple. Now you tap on this icon here. So immediately tap on it. This is it. The first thing is the MACD, and here is the settings. Please make sure you put it exactly how you see it. You can screenshot. Here are the settings. Then immediately you click it, you click done. Now after you put your MACD, you come here to click on this point. This is where you click window 1. You click here to add others indicator. You click here, or you tap on this part to add other indicator. Yes, you tap on this part to add other indicators to it. So when you tap it, you add your Bollinger Band with these settings. You can see these settings. Use any color of your choice, but make sure you know it. The moving average 50, linear weighted, and weighted close. Then lastly, the envelope. You can see it. Make sure the upper band and the lower band has similar color. And make sure you use this period 14, and your deviation should be 0.001. So that is all guys. Thanks for watching. I'm very grateful. See you in my next video. Cheers.